Hey Capricorn! Welcome to your June 2020 reading. This is TC, your guiding chariot. Whew, it has been a minute. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe as, our world and our global community is going through some crazy times, for the lack of a better word. It is an interesting world 2020 has brought us, but we are continuing to thrive and connect and stay connected, which I absolutely love. Quarantine definitely had its plans for me, so I'm sorry I've been gone for so long, but happy to report everything has progressed, everything's fixed, we're doing good, and so we're back in action. So this is going to be a general reading for Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising. My only ask, take what resonates, leave behind the rest. If you have to force a certain part of this message to fit your situation, that part of the message wasn't meant for you, leave it on the table, take what resonates. If you are a subscriber, this is going to be a slightly different format. I am filming this during eclipse season, so I'm filming this on the 6th. I think actually it just went past midnight, so I think now it's the 7th. You were my first reading of the day, technically, in a way. I think you're my last reading of the night. I'm starting to get loopy. But we are officially in eclipse season. We just had the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. We have a solar eclipse in Cancer, which shares your axis. As a Cancer, hey, shout out to my axis brothers and sisters. I love you guys. We have a solar eclipse in Cancer towards the end of this month, and then beginning of July, we have another lunar eclipse in Capricorn. So expect some fun stuff coming up. I did the Cancer reading, lots of fun stuff in there. I expect that there will be a lot of fun stuff going on in this reading as well, Capricorn, with this axis. So, what's going on with this eclipse? Lots of karmic stuff coming up. Again, when you think of an eclipse, it's a blotting out, whether it's the sun or the moon. So, we're getting a big, nice, lovely reset. But what's coming up has a lot to do with ending karmic loops, karmic cycles, tying up those loose ends and finally letting things go. A lot of this having to do with relationships for most of us. Whether it's a current relationship, how we show up in relationships, what we expect and look for in our relationships, all of that could be shifting. For some of us, maybe dramatically. It may be worth it for you to watch the Cancer video as well, especially if you have Cancer placements. Because remember, Capricorn, Cancer share an axis. So they kind of mirror each other. So definitely worth checking out. This journey may be very internal as well. Something that I've brought up in a couple of the videos, not all of them, but a couple of them. By the end of this month, we will have more planets in retrograde than moving direct. So there's a lot of internal energy working on us. So in this reading, what I really wanted to do was, yes, it's a June reading, but I really am focusing it on eclipse season. So it's going to bleed into July a little bit. So think of this more as what energies are kind of surrounding you and working on you and helping you to grow. So I'm going to pull 3 cards on what's going on in the 3D in your physical space, 3 cards on what's going on in your mental space, 3 cards what's going on in your spiritual space as we continue to evolve, and kind of just take a peek at how the universe is supporting this growth in this time of change. All right? Ooh, as I fling everything all over the place. All right. All right. Oh, we are not holding anything back, are we, Spirit? Okay. You may see me fidgeting with these cards a lot. This is a new deck for me. It was gifted to me by a very good friend. Shout out to you. You know who you are. You're also not a Capricorn, so you're probably not watching this video, but, hey, love you anyway. These cards are massive. Like, I have these huge man hands, and you can kind of see how big these cards are. So they are huge. So if you see me fidgeting with them, it's just because I'm trying to make sure they all fit in the screen. So that's all that's going on there. What's going on for you in the 3D? All right, my lovelies. So, starting out with the 4 of Crystals. So interesting. This is an interesting card. I actually was not expecting this. But 4 of Crystals can speak to being kind of miserly and kind of holding on to things and hoarding a lot of things. What is kind of nice here, there is kind of a level of, let's say, achievement, right? Because you had to build these resources to be able to hold on to them. So it is kind of like you've reached this certain point of attainment, let's say, because again, this could be, you know, financial, this could be emotional, this could be intellectual, you know, it's going to be different for everyone, so take it how it resonates. So there is this idea that we've reached a certain level, but now we're kind of getting stuck in that because we're kind of like holding on to that particular achievement or this status or this, you know, whatever this piece of value is. There may be this point where we're kind of holding on to it, or has given it more power than it really needs, or more significance, and that may be making us a little defensive, right? Because we're trying to protect what we've amassed here. So it's that defensiveness, that miserly energy. We're like, this is mine, don't touch it. You know, that may need to kind of pop into our awareness, right? Because that can hold us back. That can keep us kind of stuck. Like you can see here in the Four of Crystals, you know, granted, I would love to be surrounded and be in this position with this huge crystal mine behind him, with these massive fucking generators around me. That would be a great place to be. But you can kind of see he is stuck in that, right? He is almost kind of like trapped inside of it, and that's where we don't want to get stuck, right? We still want to be willing to adapt and learn and grow and evolve even beyond this, right? We don't need to stop here, Capricorn, right? We can go further. I know you can go further for sure. And then we have the Eight of Orbs, which is going to be the Eight of Swords in this deck. So again, another kind of idea of getting, you know, trapped. And the nice thing about the Eight of Orbs, like, you're not necessarily trapped. There's a way out. Like, this is a new deck, so I haven't actually seen all of these cards yet. But you can kind of see this figure, like, she's not really like trapped. Like, yes, she's entangled in these vines, but could she wiggle herself out of that? Totally. You know, if she took the blindfold off, this would be a piece of cake. She'd totally see her way out, right? So there is this idea that we may be kind of limiting ourselves in a way, right? With our own perceptions, or it definitely feels, I'm just going to say it again, but it definitely feels like there's this level of success that we've reached, and it's great. It feels like it's a good spot and we're happy to be there, but it almost feels like we're happy to be here, like this is where we're going to go, when you can totally go further. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting off of these cards, is that we've reached a certain point, and it's a great point, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not trying to make it like this is a bad thing, but it's just that we can go further than this, and for some reason we're not. Like, we got to this point and we stopped. We have the Six of Flames here, which is a great card of victory and success, recognition. You've gotten to a point where people are looking at you and be like, yeah, you know, she's somebody, yeah, he made it, like, you know, so you're in a good spot. Like, I hope I'm not making this sound like bad, but it's just that you could go further, you could do more. But there's this, it's like there's this idea that we can't go further, and I almost want to be like, you're not at the top yet. Like, you're high up, but you're not at the top. Like, there is more. We can go further. I'm excited to see what else pops up. This will be interesting. All right. So mental space. Okay. Okay. So, Six of Chalices. So we got some past things coming up. We might be thinking about the past. May have some shoulda, coulda, wouldas going on, my lovely Capricorns. We've got the Two of Chalices right in the middle. So relationships might be on our mind. Romance may be on our mind. Some soul connections. This may even be you thinking about, like a special someone from your past. That could totally be playing out right now. We also have the Ace of Crystals. This is the Ace of Pentacles. So abundance. We love this. Opportunities. And it kind of makes sense with everything that's going on. We have this massive retrograde period going on with all these different planets. So there is a chance to revisit. This could be someone from your past coming back. This could be you thinking of memories of your past, right? And ultimately a new opportunity kind of comes out of this. And again, remember, this is taking place in our mental space. So this may not be a physical opportunity just yet, but it's the idea, the acceptance, the opening in your mind to these things. This may even just be, a new understanding of something that happened in your past. Now, if someone comes back, it might be a beautiful thing. I will say that just because someone comes back doesn't mean they're related to this. If someone comes back and you let them go because they offered you crumbs and they come back and they're still offering you crumbs, they're obviously not this person. If this is someone coming back, they're coming and offering something tangible. They're offering something real. So don't get stuck by accepting crumbs, right? If you left them because they were given crumbs, they came back and they're still offering crumbs, that is not who we're talking about. You let that one go and walk right on past you, right? But this is about an understanding of where that all comes from. And honestly, it's probably also an understanding of really what it is you need for this to feel right and for this to feel good and satisfying and nourishing to you. Some of that perception may be what sets you free down here with this 4 of crystals and 8 of orbs. Some of you might be working through some blocks from your past. And again, I talked about this cycle bringing up all this karmic stuff, right? Bringing up all these things that we've probably been processing or dealing with for a while. Ooh, look at that. Okay. Love that. All right. So, on the spiritual space, we've got the 2 of crystals. So this would be 2 of pentacles. Talk about balance, right? Now, all the 2s do carry this energy of, having a decision that needs to be made and yada, 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 yada. But this particular card is really about, to me, being very in the flow and be willing to be flexible and trying to find a balance of both. So it's kind of about being comfortable in the gray area. It's not going to be a yes or no. It's not going to be do this, do that. You may be hovering in that gray space, and you kind of just have to be okay with that. And that may feel a little uncomfortable for some of you out there, Capricorn. I almost, for some reason, I feel like some of you see that type of space as like limbo. Like I can't do anything with that information if it's just kind of fluid, and I just kind of have to be okay with it sitting somewhere versus putting it and sorting it into a box. You kind of just have to be okay with that. And that might be part of this journey and learning on how to accept that. You kind of just kind of have to be okay with that. So don't worry, it's not a bad thing. But that may just be what you have to deal with. I don't know where that high voice came from. But then you also have the 4 of flames. This will be the 4 of wands. Love, love, love this. To me, what this shows is this point where you can kind of get over any hesitations you have with anything in this column. So anything that has to do with past or anything that has to do with this level of attainment or achievement, and just kind of be willing to let certain things go, the willingness to accept things as they are, what they could be, what they should be, may even be like what you're willing to put into it. As all these things shift, you just need to kind of be flexible and observe what's happening and take it all with a grain of salt, be open to it. To me, having this 4 of flames come up really shows me this point where you are kind of grateful for the journey because you learn to accept it. The good, the bad, the ugly, the happy, the sad, all of it. It all was part of the journey. It all meant something. It all got you to where you needed to be. It helped you realize what you needed to see. And this is where you get to a point of gratitude and gratefulness for all of that. And that's a beautiful thing. This could even be showing up as a commitment to this journey as well, a commitment to your growth and your advancement. Because again, I say this in almost every Capricorn video, I am so impressed by you, Capricorn. You guys truly are amazing workers and driven and dedicated and passionate in a way that a lot of the other signs don't share and don't understand. And I think it's a beautiful thing. So to me, this commitment is kind of to this new, evolved, slightly more fluid you, which is great. It's beautiful, and it's a wonderful thing to see. And what's great because of this, right? We have the two of crystals here, and we get to this level of gratitude, and then we have the 3 of crystals as the help and support, mentorship, as the learning, as the resources start to come together for us, right? So it takes this moment of being flexible and fluid, learning to appreciate that part of the journey, And then all the tools you need come in, right? All the teamwork can start to happen. So there is growth there. I love it. So you are kind of taking the right actions and getting to the next step in this. Beautiful. I love it. And again, for some of you, this can be speaking to a relationship because we have the Two of Cups right in the middle of all of this. So by the end of this lunar eclipse in your sign, we may be breaking some cycles that served as a block, or if you have been like repeating cycles, especially in relationships, that weren't satisfying. You're like, I keep dating the same woman or the same guy, and it ends the same way. This is a huge opportunity to reset that and really close the chapter on that book. So, very happy to see it. Very happy to see this growth for you. I hope you're excited for it too, because it's some good stuff. Alright, we're going to pull one more card before I say, oh, okay, no, that was just me being clumsy. Cards are ready. They're like, let's do this. Okay, I want to do one more shuffle. Okay, there we go. Alright, who do we have here? Oh, look at that. First quarter moon. Your commitment is being tested. Look at that. We just spent all this time talking about commitment. Wonderful. And, so even more so, this Four of Flames really is this commitment to this next level of your journey, right? And some of this may be about not having to work so hard or not having to push so far, right? Because honestly, and I'm not saying that work ethic is bad, because to me it's a defining factor in your character, and it's one thing that I definitely love about the Capricorns in my life. But some of this may be that you don't have to be committed and putting that energy into this particular path, right? So if you can be fluid and open, there may be some extra space in there for some other options that maybe make this path easier, or expand it so you can go a little further, or bring in some more help and other resources that you didn't have access to before. So there's a lot of growth lying out for you at the end of this eclipse season. So if you can be willing to kind of be a little fluid for the next 30 days as we move through it, 30-ish days, you can take this commitment, that maybe got freed up as we start to kind of open up and we pull out from certain things that aren't super rewarding, or again are only getting us so far. This extra commitment you have that is open now, you may find something even more beautiful to put it in. But again, that is being tested. Are you willing to let certain things go? Are you willing to be open to a different possibility? One that maybe just literally shows up out of the blue. Out of the blue. Didn't even think that was going to happen. Didn't even know you wanted that to happen. But yet once it presents itself, you're like, oh my God, how could I do anything else? Why would I want to do anything else? So just be open. Be open. Listen. Observe. Because like the card says, in a way you are being tested. You've approached the final exam. And it's funny, like again, I never believe that the universe is ever trying to punish us or bring us less. It's always trying to bring us more. But I feel like in this particular instance, it's kind of like what popped into my head. It was like the universe is laying out just enough rope for you to hang yourself with. So there's enough rope there, you can either grab onto it and pull yourself over the wall and over the hurdle, or it's just enough for you to damn yourself with. That's kind of the test. Universe is like, okay, you've learned the lessons, you've passed all the other tests. I'm going to just lay this out, I'm going to lay the bait here for you, and I just want to see what you do with it. That's kind of what's happening. But, like I said, if you are open and flexible, willing to observe what happened in the past, observe, where you are in this present moment and what you've achieved, and not connect to it, not take it so personal, and not be defined by it, and literally just be the observer of it, and kind of allow these other things swirling around you just to, again, pass through your awareness. If you can be willing to be that open and that flexible, again, I feel like you find a new commitment and new passions and things that you can feel so grateful for and so dedicated to, that you build something completely different. And again, something bigger than you thought you could. So, exciting stuff. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Can't give you away all the answers, right? No, I'm just kidding. But very, very interesting eclipse season. So I am excited for you, Capricorn. I am sending you love, light, wishing you the best. As always, love you. Please take care of yourself as we continue to move through these crazy times and uncertain, uncharted waters for our country and our community as a, one global humanity. Just be safe and be aware, and I'm wishing you the best. Take care. I love you, and I will see you in your next video. Bye, Capricorn.